Guha's friend, Doug, had a question for him. Hey Guha, welcome back. I hope all went well with your time abroad and the flight back. When you feel up to it, I will be around to ask you about this UG quote. Quote, human thinking is born out of this neurological defect in the human species. Anything that is born out of human thinking is destructive. Thought is destructive. Thought is a protective mechanism. It draws frontiers around itself and it wants to protect itself. It is for the same reason that we also draw lines on this planet and extend them as far as we can. Now, how can he rightly say that? Quote, anything that is born out of human thinking is destructive? What about all the helpful things humans have thought up? All the medical and other technological advancements that are helping people live better lives. See you soon, Doug. This question triggered the talk when Doug visited Guha in person.
Yeah, so all thoughts are imaginative reality.
That cup there, that's imaginative reality.
All thought created the name and cup and make you remember.
Calling that a cup is something that thought created, and that's how I remember. Okay.
Because what you see when you look, and then when you close your eyes, it needs thought to recollect it.
Okay. To remember that that's called a cup directly.
As soon as you close your eyes,
Yeah.
you see the world. You don't see anything. Then you begin to invoke another process. Imagination.
When I close my eyes, I evoke my imagination.
Mm-hmm. Like if somebody asks, what was there? A different new animal comes to picture. That's the birth of thought.
Right. I close my eyes, and someone asks me, what was that?
And what was that?
And I imagine a different creature.
You begin to invoke another process in your brain to recollect what was there.
Okay.
That process is called thinking.
Right, okay.
This is created by you. It has a relationship with what was out there. You created a reality.
Okay.
That is thought.
Right.
And to make sure, you repeat it. And it gives you a surety. That's the birth of thinker. Without thought, there is no thinker. Thought and thinker are almost one and the same. It's the process that creates the birth of thought makes it look like there is a thinker.
The process that creates the thought
makes it look like there is a thinker.
Makes it seem like there's a thinker thinking the thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, since the thought is utilized by the system for certain reason, the relationship thought and the thinker has an imposing quality. It convinces the thinker. Thinker and thought together becomes an entity to make sure what they are thinking is right. That's the birth of a fascism. So here is it. Now what thought can do? You have to start a process. What thought can do?
What thought can do?
Okay, let's say thought acts through knowledge that created out of thought. What is knowledge?
It's just information.
Who gets the information?
Who gets
The
it?
process.
Who processes it?
That is thought.
Yeah. Thought processes information. Okay.
Thought processes the information.
Okay.
So this information, when is utilized to act,
Tells us what we need to do.
yes,
Okay.
what we can do,
What we can do, yeah.
what we can do.
All right.
So this information about the knowledge, when it is asked, how many different ways a human being can kill itself or others like them? For example, the informations are 100% correct and known. How many ways you can kill yourself? The information is correct. You can take potassium cyanide, you can jump out of the bridge, you can go inside the water, you can 100 different ways.
Okay.
So the point is, destructive thing that thought collected.
Destructive things that thought collects in terms of how to kill yourself is true.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the destruction, the super destruction.
Okay.
Because the process through which life terminates,
Yeah.
life can be terminated,
Right.
is the super destruction. Because if you kill many at a time, it's huge destructive,
Right.
like atom bomb.
The atom bomb. Okay.
Okay, so we know the process that thought created. Thought only gave you the information, right?
Yeah.
How to destroy. We know this, how to destroy.
Thought
Wait.
does.
Yes. Wait. So you have now 100% positive knowledge about destruction. Now this is one end of the spectrum. Now suppose somebody asks you, what is the best information that really addresses your well-being, true well-being?
My true well-being.
What is the information that you have about true well-being?
I don't know. That's why.
Zero.
Zero. That's why I thought I was here in the first place, to try and get that information about my well-being.
What I'm saying is that what thought provided you 100% destruction and 0% your well-being.
No. No. What about the fact that thought produced the COVID vaccine? That's my well-being. Prevented me from getting COVID.
Wait a
That was
minute.
created by thought.
I didn't ask you, I said you, one individual. It starts from there. You know how to kill yourself.
Among other things, yeah.
Yes, yes.
But I knew how to do beneficial things too. Because
You
of
don't
thought.
know how to address your well-being. All beneficiary things could be a very different game, and you are a pawn of the game. Somebody brainwashed to believe that you should give your life to address the well-beings of others.
Okay.
You took it seriously and do it.
Right.
What about your well-being?
What about my well-being? Well, I'm addressing my well-being. What if I was addressing my well-being in doing that? Helping
In
others
what?
makes me feel good. It's my well-being.
Make
Helping
you-
others makes me
yeah.
money, so that goes to my
Make
well-being.
you feel good is not addressing your well-being. You can take drinks, cocaine, that will make you feel good. You can get a super do-gooder high, and in the name of protest you can kill yourself. That makes you feel good. That's why you killed yourself out of protesting that you are doing this, that and the other. Not all thing that you feel good is addressing your well-being.
Hey, that's addressing my well-being.
You know how nature functions?
How nature functions. Like
Every single tree, if it is following the principles of life, and by chance, if it happens that a seed become a big tree. It maintains an equilibrium, help all others to create the symbiosis.
Whoa.
You and all forms of life have a propensity to grow at its best.
Okay.
Okay? Like you as a human being is born out of a very intricate genetic codes between two line of genes.
Mothers and fathers?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And the moment of its birth, it has preordained genetic makeup that will make your hand, leg, face, everything, including all internal organs, to a very specific form.
Okay.
So it's all there. Just the way a seed, if it happens to be in the right place and gets the proper thing, becomes a massive tree.
All right.
Same way, you, as soon as you're born, you have a propensity to flower into a most beautiful human.
Okay.
So, you see, so it's all there. All there.
All right.
When it becomes just the tree, when it becomes a very full grown tree, it begins to contribute to an environment to create a symbiosis. Like it will attract all the bees and produces fruits that will depend on other animals.
Okay.
Like the whole chain of thing.
Okay. Got that.
So are you.
So am I. I'm forming a symbiosis that can help people and yours other people.
Everything, if everything that is ordained inside you through this genetic lineup, and find an environment where it can grow into a full human being, all its potentials will be flowered.
Okay.
That flowering is the most beneficial aspects of other human being, not what you do. What you end up doing is a mixed business. You can become a complete do-gooders, high-oriented, cocaine addict, very privileged, and live up to 80 years.
Okay. You're saying I can't really benefit people by doing things for them?
By feeling good.
By feeling good. By my feeling good?
Yes.
I'm benefiting others by my feeling good.
No, you may not.
I may not. Oh, so if I try to feel good, somehow it's not going to benefit other people.
May not.
It may not. Okay. All right.
That is what you have to discriminate to understand. All that you feel good need not necessarily address your well-being as well as others' well-being.
All right.
So, if you say, I feel like helping others, need not necessarily addressing your good or others' good. You may just spoil the chance of somebody who would come to a different situation by imposing your nature of health to him. Nature of helping to him is actually doing something wrong.
But what if they ask me for my help?
Then also you have to see what he's asking. If he's conning you.
Oh, is he conning me? No, it's a genuine help.
How do you know?
I don't, but I'm like...
Is there any instrument you have in your brain to discriminate between who is asking for genuine help and who is conning you?
Yeah, I can...
You don't.
You don't.
You yourself do not know. You yourself con yourself.
I con myself.
Yes.
I fool myself.
Yes.
By helping people because I think...
Yes, falling in love, looking for things that you don't know that you are fooling yourself and you are not addressing your well-being.
Even though I might think I am.
Yes,
I'm
but
really
you are
not.
not. You are not. So what happened is you destroy the possibility of helping yourself first. That automatically helps others. Thought can substantiate a genuine feeling of a mother to protect her child. Thought is an instrument that came to us, which gives us a simple edge to fight against the natural obstruction that comes on the way of our living. For example, I am living here and suddenly winter came, it's very cold. Thought can give us a helping hand to construct something that will protect us from this, protect us from
Right.
the cold weather.
Right, that's beneficial.
Yeah,
It's a
so what
beneficial
I'm
thing that
saying
came from thought. So
beneficial means it's, the tiger claws and tiger tooth, they're beneficial to themselves,
right,
right?
okay,
So is thought. It gives us an instrument to give an edge, slight edge to make our living easier.
okay,
If thought is created for a specific purpose, maintains that purpose. The same thought can also kill you. Thought which creates depression, suicidal effect, kills people.
right. I can.
Thought of my controlling other human being can create a Hitler.
Right,
When thought crosses this line to create destruction, we saw it more often than not. Because the difference between two human beings translated into killing each other in groups for centuries, decimating each other, is substantiated by thought. The birth of religion is by thought.
okay,
And the one religion trying to impose religious belief on other has killed most human beings on this planet.
okay,
So you see, when I see these things, what is the conclusion?
the conclusion that thought can sometimes cause destruction, but it could also sometimes be of benefit. That's the conclusion.
Okay, because thought is created in the very beginning to help human being,
Right,
because it's an instrument.
right, okay,
That's what I said. The thought that gave us a simple edge to protect ourselves, to make life easier,
right,
turned out that it can do killing and destroying others more efficiently than protecting ourselves. So, where the thought is arising, its first job is to know what it should use to address its own well-being. Each individual, if they are addressing their well-being, it only can then create a smaller and bigger social structure which has more beneficial aspects of living than not. It creates a healthy individual. The more healthy individual you have, the more healthier environment you create.
right. But I still say that thought can be used outside of benefiting yourself for other purposes, benefiting other people, creating the COVID vaccine, and that's a benefit too to people. I don't understand how this is. Am I missing something here?
You are not missing anything. You are simply, you ask yourself, what is thought doing to you? What is your conflict? What is your position in life? How you face the world? Everything is mediated by thought. Okay? You do a real integrated, intimate research. Did all these thoughts created an individual that can tell itself he is very integrated and he is maintaining a balance, and it's addressing the well-being that it deserves. You ask yourself, are you really happy? I don't ask because I don't feel I need any happiness. Zero.
Okay.
I don't feel I have any. It's like if I am not hungry at all,
Yeah.
where is the question of eating?
It's not there. I mean, you just don't have it. All right.
So I do not ever feel that I am not happy. Basically, what Yuji translates, a happy person never seeks happiness.
Right. Okay.
What I'm saying is that this is the result of thinking. We are forced to think. Who is gearing those thoughts? You are just a media.
I keep telling you it's what's going on in my life. If something's going on, I see it, I experience it, and then I think about it. That's what it is.
Yes, so is that what you really want to think as addressing your well-being?
You're saying no.
No, most of the time it's
It's
no.
most of the time my thoughts aren't addressing my own well-being, and that's why it's destructive.
You are hijacked. This is my sincere appeal to my friends. Sort it out. What really is maintaining your status quo by hijacking your thoughts. But basically, it is you never think anything that you can call your original thoughts driven by your well-being. You are thinking what they want you to think. You are brainwashed to believe and think the thought that the social structure is forcing you to.
And that's destructive.
That is completely destructive. That does not address your well-being. You are just a pawn.
So
Like for a king, all the soldiers, front line, back line, they're like a bullets of a gun, expendable. They're all human beings,
Right.
just like the king.
Right.
But they're used to kill each other. So their brain was to believe that that's their noble job right now, or they're not in a position to refuse.
One or the other.
One or the other.
They're say again, they're what?
Either their brain was to believe
Right.
that that's their noble duty, or they have no other choice but to fight the battle that Putin wants them to. At the end, they're expendable. Nobody addresses their well-being. Nobody.
Used.
They're used.
Right.
Most human beings are like that.
They're not using their thoughts to address their own well-being.
They're not allowed to because they are brainwashed to believe something other than what they should be doing for their well-being.
And this is what he meant by thoughts are destructive.
That is what he meant by you can't even tell this is your want. What you think you want is what they want you to want.
I don't know about that. I mean, in some cases, yeah, but there's other times I think about what I want and I know it's just what I want, regardless of what other people might think I want.
That's not.
The moment you impose even an iota of your thoughts to others, it's called fascism of thinking.
So thoughts generally controlled by society are not geared toward my own well-being, and that's why they're destructive.
That is the whole point. See, why there is some very strong argument or a statement. First and foremost thing is to draw your attention. When someone draws your attention, you go deeper.
Right.
Okay? You try to understand what is this, what is at stake here? Why is this gentleman is crying foul of our activities? Oh, because he found for himself by himself that this is how they hijack all my intention so that I can never decide what's best for me.
All right, because if you're busy thinking about what they want you to think about, you're not going to think about.
Exactly.
You're not
Then
gonna
you
think about
have no
what's-
time, and besides, that kind of thing is not growing inside you. That tree never grown. That is being completely infested by all other
Ideas and
things. It never became a
All right.
tree that it is supposed to become.
All right.
The whole point is to make you look what is there in that statement. You will begin to see the thing that shaped the world is created out of a very handful of people's benefit.
A small number of people are benefiting from what has been created in the world, and everyone else is not because of
Expendable.
expendable because of that.
Because of that. So you see, the world, all the living beings, we are just one particular specimen out of millions of species. I am a specimen of a particular species, and like that, there are millions of species on this planet.
Right.
Okay, and most of the time, without certain other species, we cannot survive.
We need other species to survive.
And inside us, it's so many living things. We depend on them.
Right.
From bacteria
Right.
to all the digestive bots that are moving around. So it's life, and all different forms of life is created an equilibrium, and we are no exception.
Okay.
We are also like that. So to have this equilibrium, the life gives us a very small compartment for each one's livelihood. Like an animal, how much can they eat? How much can they enjoy? How much can they move around? So are we. Basically, no matter what you do, how many people can you need to control? How much wealth you require to have? All except human, all other species in this planet have these limitations very beautifully controlled. Ours is because we are now created a society which is completely controlled by thinking. It is not benefiting, but it is powerful.
Okay.
This power is generated out of using the similar species, many specimens. Human being, out of using other animals, cannot gather this much of strength. What they can do by grouping same specimen of ours.
their own kind.
Many people get together, creates very powerful system. And this power is destructive. It does not maintain the equilibrium of nature.
Equilibrium.
Because this thought that gathered the people for a particular action
Yes.
is often destructive. Destructive to each other,
Right.
destructive to the other forms of life.
Okay.
Okay? So, if only we could get what we really need, you see that? if we can get what we really need, what is the difference of food habit between a soldier and a king? Nothing.
If they both have what they need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why there will be a trillionaire guy and a
Right.
5 cents per hour guy?
Right.
There are people in the planet like that.
Absolutely.
Right? Other guys owns trillion. This is completely out of balance.
It's out of balance.
By who? Thought.
Thought caused this imbalance.
Thought created this imbalance.
When,
Each person is in possession of something that they don't know what to do with it.
okay, so thought produced the
All
inequality.
this inequality,
Social inequality, economic equality was all produced by thought.
everything in terms of organizing. So ultimately, such inequilibrium ought to create destruction. Thought is created by nature to the human, which should be beneficial. So it has that quality.
It has the potential to be beneficial.
That is how it is there.
Right,
But
that we create.
the way things are now,
Right?
the destruction is so overwhelmingly outweighed
By the benefit.
by the benefit that is like even not mentionable.
Right, well,
And any individual who is walking,
alright, I see what you're saying.
use the thought. Use the thought means the thought also can be used for introspection. Thought can be used to see this is the working of it. Thought knows its existence. The action created by the consciousness of a monkey is not aware of itself. Human being, our consciousness, a part of our consciousness is aware of itself.
Self-consciousness.
That self created by thought.
Okay.
So that's why it also has a potential to see that it is being utilized appropriately or not.
Okay.
So yes, primarily it was there for a tool for us to survive better.
Originally.
Okay, originally, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
because the animals would attack us. This is the thought which taught us that we can create an instrument to protect us.
Right.
Like missiles, like stones, like stakes.
Right.
We can group together and protect ourselves with all this which is created by thought. So originally it was an instrument to protect us and overcome the challenges of life slightly better.
Right. Okay.
So yes, it has the potential.
It has potential.
Has
But you're
pot-
saying that's
but the side effect is right now outweighed
by the destructiveness.
by the
You see,
I created a small effective medication, okay, to give us a little bit of respite for the pain, but it created thousands of people into addiction and dead.
Yeah.
And dead.
Yeah.
You see the point, no?
Yeah, in some cases, beneficial things have negative effects, but COVID
Like-
vaccine didn't have any negative effects. It just helped us. And that was a product of thought. That's why
Well, things. Doug, I am with you.
Right.
Just a mother, how she feels to protect her child, and she can use her thought to do the better job.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? So she can protect better because she is now having an additional instrument called thought to address the well-being of the little fellow who does not understand anything.
Right.
Obviously, this is the part of thought that is originally produced for. Where it is now. That's the whole point. The point is, now, why does he say things like that? There is a bigger reason for that. That's what it doesn't come. We are lost in the surface level of its analysis. The deeper level is thought actually, even in the name of addressing the well-being, hijacked the nature within individual. Nature means there is an organic necessity that is designed by the life to create an order inside an healthy individual. And that is deprived by the constant onslaught of thought, even in the name of addressing others' well-being.
All right. So one more time, so I get
Okay.
it. Say it again.
Okay. We are product of nature,
Right.
and as I told you, our genetic codes that divides us to put right things right places. That includes the neurobiological circuitry, which
Okay.
make us see where things are, which make us see the distance object small, close object bigger. That gives us the
Perception.
facilitate the perception of moving away or moving closer. Okay, and so we can protect ourselves. So all these things are there in us, and because of that, there is a organic necessity. Organic necessity means when you are hungry, you need food. When you are thirsty, you need water. So there is organic necessity to maintaining health. Maintaining something that is there in appropriate way, and if something else is coming there, it wants to reject it. For example, if you have a foreign particle inside your body is going to start working out so that it can be expelled.
Okay.
Many such things. So if you have an internal pain, if you have stomach ache, if you have all these things, the first line of defense for the system is to get rid of those pains. First line of defense. And often it requires thought to give a helping hand to remove that pain.
Okay.
Okay? Now you have something called internal psychological pain.
Okay.
Internal psychological pain is created out of a conflict between what demands by the organic necessity and what demands by the resultant of the information processing.
Okay.
The resultant information processing is, it wants you to be awake all the time. It wants you to act all the time, because information processor is ruthless. It only wants to run
Constantly.
and derive energy from you, make you act. Organic necessity, it has no value. The system that runs the whole thing
Yeah.
for it to supply energy.
It doesn't have any use for this action, thought-based action.
Exactly. So what happened is there is a deep sense of something lacking. You know what I mean?
Because your body doesn't need this thought-based
Activity.
actions
Constantly.
So something's wrong, something's off, amiss, and your
Yes.
body feels it.
Feels it and
Okay.
creates a sensation. The sensation is translated by the new cortex
Right.
into unhappiness,
Right.
sadness.
Depression.
I need happiness. I need to eat. I need to do. I need to do. Because our information processor is only sending information, and it has to be translated by knowledge. In the knowledge box, it never says that your wanting to know all the time is destructive thing for the system.
Okay.
Like you want to be happy by drinking alcohol or cocaine,
Right.
is destructive to the body. So this conflict is, it has to be understood by an individual. And this understanding can come to this kind of powerful statement that thought in its all level is destructive. Destructing whom? Each one.
Because the thoughts that are causing me to do actions are not providing my body's
Well-being.
Well-being means
well-being.
balance.
It's not addressing my body's well-being.
Well-being. By hijacking your energy all the time, you will find yourself lacking that vitality and the sense of peace. What is peace? Say you have a very bad headache. The moment the headache is gone, there is a substantial existence of equanimity. When you say you are thinking, your pain, and somehow magically, when it disappears, you feel a stability. It's not happiness or joy. It is the absence of conflict, Doug. It's the absence of internal pain. It's the absence of all that is there. Gives you, for the first time, a stable life form.
But when you think about it, our desire to think through our actions, which is drawing this energy away from our body's natural intelligence, or whatever you want to call it, is unavoidable. We have to think about what we need to do.
Yes, but if you think it through, that thoughts are way less than the thought that makes you involved in day and night moving around.
One more time.
Okay, the thought that is required to maintain my job,
Yeah.
the thought that is required to bring my food, clothes, shelter,
The thought, action-based thoughts that I have to do to live.
to live, is a small percentage of all the thought that goes on inside you and wants to know, wants to act, wants to refine, wants to do. So basically, thought has created a momentum, and in that momentum, most of the things are unnecessary. It just does not address the. See, for example, I have to go to work, do some accounting. All these things can be done in very short time, and rest of the time I don't need to think anything. But I'm not telling you shouldn't think. It's not in your hand anymore. The momentum is taken over. That is the part of the thinking that is totally fascist, totally destructive. This momentum that has created by the thought structure of the entire society
Is preventing thoughts from being directed to your well-being.
to your well-being.
And that's
So,
why you're calling fascist. That's why you're calling it
total.
fascist.
It is like totally. I don't even know what I should think to feel great. To feel as a human who is addressing its well-being. And if a human being truly addresses its well-being, cannot be harmful to anybody. It's the nature. A very healthy tree cannot be harmful to anything. It is the nature of all forms of life. It is that nature that has created the symbiosis, interdependence. That interdependence is not exploitation.
It's not exploitation.
No. It is interdependence.
How about little tea or coffee?